the x-intercept? Gus?
The y-intercept is 4.
And what is the y-intercept? What does that mean to somebody who doesn't know?
The y-intercept is the b in y plus equals mx plus b.
Okay, and what does that mean?
It's where the line crosses the y-axis.
Excellent. So here we have our y-intercept at 0, 4, and what is our x-intercept? Gus?
Me again?
Yeah.
-2.
All right, so here's our x-intercept, -2. It's where the line crosses the x-axis, and it's -2, he says. What is important to know about x and y intercepts and the number 0? What's important to know about the x and the y intercept and the number 0 here? Tamala? A little louder?
They always align.
They always align. Can you tell me more about that? Like, for instance, say that again?
They're linear.
They're linear, that's true. That's true. But how does the number 0 play into this? It's the origin, not 0, 0, but I'm talking about this 0 being x and this 0 being y. So how does 0 relate to intercepts? That's critical. The y-intercept has to have what?
Starting value?
Yes, where x equals what number?
0.
X has to equal 0 for our y-intercept, and for our x-intercept, what does y have to equal? 0. So that's really critical. I noticed that when you guys did this, most of you went straight to Desmos, but I want to make sure we review how do you find an intercept. Our intercept is 4 for the y-intercept and -2 for the x-intercept. So let's consider answer choice A. Yes, Ken?
Does it have to be that for every equation?
What do you mean?
The zeros?
Yes, for the y-intercept, x is always 0. For the x-intercept, y is always 0. So if we look at answer choice A, we're trying to look for y-intercept of 4. Does it have a y-intercept of 4? How can we test it? We can test it by plugging in x equals 0. And we need, when you plug in x equals 0, to output y equals 4. So let's test the first answer choice. 0 plus 4 times y equals 3. We replace the 0 here for x. That basically disappears. It's 0. It's gone. And we end up with 4y equals 3. So is A the correct answer choice? Does it give you y equals 4? No, it doesn't. If you divide by 4 and you divide by 4, you end up with y equals 3/4. A is completely out of the running because it did not give us 4 when we plugged in 0 for x. Let's try answer choice B. What's the plug-in, Karina, for answer choice B to find the y-intercept?
Plug-in for answer choice B is
If we're trying to do this part up here,
it's 2x.
what goes in place of x though?
2.
So the y-intercept exists where x equals 0. So not 2x, but 2 times
2 times
what number though?
2 times 0.
There it is. Okay, we're starting to remember. 2 times 0 plus y equals 4. Y'all, what's 2 times 0? So does this give us the right y-intercept? We're looking for a y-intercept of 4. 0 gives us 4. We plugged in 0 for x. Did it give us y equals 4? 2 times 0 is 0. We end up with y equals 4. So it works. B is still with us. Let's talk about answer choice C. Same procedure. We're going to replace 0 for x. So we can erase this. We'll look at answer choice C. 2 times 0, which is x, plus 2y equals 4. 2 times 0?
0.
That disappears. You don't even need to worry about it. When you're finding intercepts, that disappears. 2 times 0. And we get 2y equals 4. Is that going to give us the right value for y? How do we solve here? Divide by 2. What does that give us? Y equals 2. Is that what we were looking for? No, we don't even need to worry about C anymore. Now we talk about answer choice D. Does answer choice D work? Yes, it does. Let's talk about y. -2 times what number plus y equals 4? What has to go there? 0. Once again, the y-intercept, because it's right here on the y-axis, it's where x equals 0. No matter where it is on the y-axis, the x value will be 0. Now we evaluate. We get -2 times 0, which disappears, and you end up with y equals 4. So answer choice D gives us the correct y-intercept. How do we now choose between answer choice B or D? Gianna?
The x-intercept is a -2, and b is a +2, and d is a -2, so d.
Okay, so the correct answer is D, you're right, but how can we prove it? What's wrong with B? How do we test B and prove that B is wrong? How do we prove that B is the wrong answer? Sam?
Put in the numbers,
The what?
the 2 and the 4.
Okay, the 2 and the 4. So this time, where does our 0 go? Stefan?
In the spot of one.
In the spot of y. So this time, we want x to be equal to 2 when y equals 0. So it's 2x plus y equals 4, 2x plus 0 equals 4, plus 0 disappears, and how would you solve for x? You divide by 2, and you get x equals 2. Is that the right x-intercept? No. So B is no good, and if you do the same thing with letter D, you get -2, because it was a -2 right there. That's why D is the correct answer. That's so much mental lifting. There's got to be a faster way. Stefan, what is the faster way?
I just converted them into y, so y equals mx plus b, and then check them.
That absolutely works. You could convert it into y equals mx plus b. Well, let me do you one better. You can go to Desmos. Everybody, you guys need to be very familiar with Desmos. It's embedded on the EOC. So you go to Desmos, and what do we need to do with the 4 answer choices? Gus?
Put all of them in,
And then look for what?
and then look for the correct slope.
If you could use slope, sure, but there's something even easier to look for.
Y-intercept,
Y-intercept and
x-intercept.
what was the correct answer that we landed on?
D.
No, but what is the actual equation, I mean?
-2x plus y equals 4.
Let me refresh the page because the keyboard's not showing up. Hold on. -2x plus y equals 4. You open the graphing calculator, give it a second. It's embedded on the EOC. Why isn't it